All right, I'm here today with Kamal Yakub, the co-founder of TROTRO Tractor. Thank you so much for making the time to meet us.
Thank you, Thomas.
Kamal, for people that don't know TROTRO, can you explain what you guys are doing?
TROTRO Tractor. We sometimes call ourselves Uber for tractors in Africa, but it's basically an agricultural technology company that makes it possible for smallholder farmers access agricultural machinery services, ranging from tractors, combine harvesters, planters, and all those in the value chain. And recently we are making it also very easy for them to have the immediate post-harvest machinery, like shellers, treshers, and all that. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a technology that makes it possible for smallholder farmers get easy access to agricultural machinery services. Yeah.
So, and that is important because otherwise they couldn't afford to have access to these machines, or why don't they rent it themselves?
Yes, so the nature of our farmers is such that the average farmer has about 3 acres. And on 3 acres, there's nothing you can do. This is a 1.5 hour job for a tractor. And so renting it a day is expensive. Buying it is completely out, doesn't make business sense. So they are mostly left out. And they make majority of the farmers. We depend on them for the food they produce. So you want to make any critical change, you have to talk to smallholder farmers. And so our focus is on giving machinery service access to smallholder farmers. Yeah.
I mean, it's a genius idea. How did you come up with it?
I met Emmanuel, my co-founder, and Adam in 2016 at an event organized by Cosmos Innovation Center. This is a flagship program by Cosmos Energy that wanted to find out solutions that would affect the mass, the majority of people in Ghana, which happens to be smallholder farmers. They chose thematic areas, and we happened to choose land preparation for production of food. And so we're looking at what we can do to make it easy for farmers to produce. Then we started looking at names, and we said TROTRO is the easiest way of moving from one point to the other in the cities. Yeah. What if we make tractors look like TROTROs in the villages, from one farmer to another farmer in that small way? So that's how it came about, through Cosmos Innovation Center's idea of the affecting critical mass of the population. Yeah. And ingenuity of myself, Emmanuel, and Adam, and other people who supported us from 2016 to now.
The 3 of you, you were sitting in a workshop brainstorming, and then this idea materialized.
Yes. So the competition actually ran for 7 months for us. Now it's still running. It's every month they select people and fund them. Now it's 9 months.
Wow.
We were the first people to start this competition. So it lasted for about 7 months. And through this, people come pitch, and then they eliminate some of them until the last pitch, and then you win, and then you get the seed capital from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So through the Cosmos Innovation Center, you got the seed capital to start your idea?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. Then you have some capital on hand. What was the first thing to make it a reality? You know, I mean, you have the idea, you have some money. What next?
Yeah, so right before even the money, we had to move to test the system, whether it really works, whether people would respond to such an innovation.
All right.
So we did a manual test, prototype of what it really looked like. So myself, Emmanuel, and Adam, we went into the farming community, got a tractor owner on one side, and went around and looked for farmers and asked them, do you want to plow? How much would you pay? And then they agreed. So we aggregated some few farmers, about 15 farmers, and then we connected them to one tractor. And then we made a commission of 10% And we used it that day. We took that money.
Oh,
we
wow.
spent the money that day just to celebrate that success. And then we came back to prove more,
Yeah.
and then did proof of concept in 3 farming communities with 3 tractors.
Okay.
With a real system, USSD application,
Yeah.
where farmers can actually request and pay via mobile money and all that. So we did a proof of concept in 3 communities, and it showed good results.
Okay.
And then we launched operation. So the POC was done in 2017, and in 2018 we launched full-scale operation.
Wow.
Yeah, in Ghana.
Wow. I mean, I really love that because, I think when people have ideas, they make it so complex in their minds that they don't know the first step. But again and again, I see that entrepreneurs that have an idea, they break it down to the very simplest, easiest test. And of course, that's not the startup yet, but you made a 10% commission and you could throw a party with it. It's really cool. So yeah, go out, find a tractor, or someone that has a tractor, and find the people that need it and start your...
And the funny thing was, it was in the same community.
Yeah.
So
they didn't talk before?
Yeah, they didn't talk before. And we found that it was difficult for the tractor owner actually to go around looking for how many people are looking for his services before, and plan ahead and say, in one day I'm going to serve 10 farmers, and I'll make this amount of money.
Yeah.
They didn't have that time to do that. It was so tricky. So if you extrapolate that into a lot of tractors and a lot of farmers, then you are seeing the money growing and looking at the commission. It's making a business sense.
So the average farmer has about 3 acres, you mentioned. How much do they actually have to pay to get their 3 acres plowed?
Yeah, so per acre is about 140 Ghana cedis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which translates with, I think, 25 to 30 USD per acre. Yeah, so on each acre, we make close to 2.5 USD commission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And there are a lot of farmers in Ghana, so...
Yeah, majority of our farmers are smallholder farmers. More than 2 million farmers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how often do you have to plow a field? Is that something that you do every month? I have never farmed, so...
Yeah, so you plow your field once in a year.
Okay.
Yeah, during the farming season. Yeah. But because you have a lot of them plowing at the same time, you need to schedule.
Yeah. Okay.
And farm one at a time.
Okay.
But the good thing is, when you plow, you follow up with another service called the harrow. Then you follow up with another service called planting. Then you follow up with another service called spraying for fertilizer. Yeah. Then you follow up with another service called the harvesting. Yeah. Then you follow up with another service that we are introducing now, is shelling and threshing, rice and corn. Yeah. So there's a lot of things happening.
The entire process of production. You're now supporting them with the machinery.
Mechanization, yes.
Yeah. Wow. I find it very interesting that you mentioned that the farmers didn't organize that themselves before, although there was already a tractor in the community. And my question would be, now that you introduced that, did they ever think about, moving past TROTRO tractors, or why do they continue using your solution again and again? Yeah.
So that was our fear also from the beginning. And then we realized that you can not entirely eliminate all the side issues. Yeah. Because if I'm a farmer and I have a tractor in a community, and I'm serving people, I will not take money from my mother-in-law. Yeah. So that is a side issue. So that would not pass through the system. Okay. I will not. My wife's farm, I have to plow for her. Yeah. My pastor's or my imam's farm, these things will still continue to happen.
I understand.
But what we realize is, most of the time, the tractor owners are not the tractor drivers.
Okay.
The tractor operators. And so they are okay, or they are convenient putting their tractors on TROTRO Tractor's platform, so they can monitor where the tractor is, how much money it's making, because we collect
data,
digital cash.
Yeah.
So it's mobile money.
Yeah.
So the farmer pays us, and then we pay the tractor owner. Yeah, so money is collected using our system. The tractor can be located wherever it is, and the owner can find where it is. So security also for the tractor owner, and a lot of other factors that now you have financial inclusion for the for the tractor owner, as well as the smallholder farmer, but particularly for the tractor owner. When they know my tractor is going to make, or is making close to, for example, 9,000 USD in a farming season, backed with data and how many farmers have used that, I can use that to access other services like insurance, like extra capital to buy a new tractor based on my earnings and other things. So all these things are making it difficult for them not to be on our platform.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, that's very interesting. And I think it also, as you mentioned, it has a lot to do with the fact that the owner is not the driver, or the tractor operator in many cases, because then you have an asset that is generating revenue, and you're not there. So how do you track that and keep an eye on it?
That is one value proposition when you bring your tractor to TROTRO Tractor. As the owner of the tractor, you are able to see where your tractor is using our GPS device that we put on your tractor at the onboarding.
So IoT, Internet of Things, you're making the tractor smart.
Yeah, so we have an IoT department actually that is making this possible.
Okay.
Yeah, so in our R&D, some of the things are still in the kitchen, in the development, but we're looking at the behavior of the tractor drivers as well, how they press the accelerator, how they step on the brake, and how that affects the overall well-being of the tractor and all that, so the tractor can last longer. We train them as well. So we are doing so many things with the IoT department. How can we get this data from the GPS devices that we put on, including ability for tractor owners to turn off their engine, geofencing capability for the tractors and machinery, and all that.
Wow. So from a very simple market study that you did in the beginning, it's become quite a technology company, essentially, in making these kind of technologies available to smallholder farmers.
Yeah, so we realized that it's impossible not to pay attention onto the technology side, especially what makes you see the tractor offside. So if the tractor is outside, how do you monitor what's happening on the ground? And we realized that the easiest way to do that is to use technology. And the best technology is the IoT.
Yeah. Interesting. That's also interesting for your business, because you're here located in Accra. You didn't want to spend all your time on the farms, and that helps you monitor your business essentially and what's happening and going on, and you have the data to back it up and know what's happening in the field. Yeah,
cutting down more travel time and cost of transportation and accommodation for staff on the field. Yeah.
Oh, it's really genius. Kamal, did you always want to be an entrepreneur? What's your personal journey that you even attended this Cosmos Innovation Challenge?
So I used to be an accountant. I worked as an accountant in Ghana for about between 2005 to 2008 with a waste and sanitation company, water and sanitation company, Waste Care actually. That's the name of the company. And I got the chance to travel to Abu Dhabi to practice accounting. But the company I landed in was a tech company, Dreams Creative International. They, at that time, was developing apps, building softwares for government institutions, oil and gas companies, and all that. And then schools. Then I realized what technology can do, especially with their IoT style. Anytime I come to Ghana, I look at the agriculture space and I see what we can do with technology in agri. So I came back with the idea of bringing all cows in one place. Yeah, so putting electronic devices on cattle and then making them available for people who want to buy the cows online. Kind of creating stock exchange for livestock.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, but starting with monitoring and tracking cows. So if you have a cow, you bring it on my platform. I would show you where it is if you can't find it, because most of the cows are also open grazing.
Yeah.
So that was the idea.
So you might be looking for hours for your cow and you can't find it.
Yes, and then you just call me and I look on the computer and I find where the cow is and I charge you a small money. So,
go there behind that tree.
Yeah, it's behind that tree, in that man's kraal, in that man's house. And yeah, so that was the first attempt to affect agriculture with technology. It worked and it's still working actually. Yeah, so working with cattle farmers also makes me see a lot of possibility in the agriculture space.
Yeah.
So I saw how farmers find it difficult in getting agriculture machinery. And I saw it's very not a good practice to use the manual cutlass and hoe on the farm to clear. So you find someone who goes to the farm every day with a cutlass and a hoe. And if you ask him the size of his farm, it's about 3 acres. How much can you make from 3 acres? So I was looking for simple ways of making that process work. And so when Cosmos came with their thematic areas and it had land preparation, I happened to belong to that part and bring out a technology that can do that.
Oh, very nice. So you kind of got, from your accounting job, you got exposed to the world of startups, IoT, and then you just said, okay, that's very applicable to Ghana.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it affordable for smallholder farmers to pay the services of getting all these machines?
Yeah. So it's easier to know that pricing because we don't set the prices. The farmers already know how much they would pay for somebody to use manual labor to clear their land. Yeah, we don't set the prices. We go with existing. So if you go to the northern part, we go around to ask what is the prevailing prices for, and then farmers already know. Now the good thing is none of them want to see a tractor and use their hands to plow. So the problem has always been, how do I get a tractor for my 3-acre land or 1-acre land? It has not been how much I would pay.
Okay. So the willingness to pay was always there.
Yes.
It was just organizing the machine and at affordable rates.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow. Very interesting. And then because the smallholder farmers pay you, then you see how much revenue is coming in and you can forward that money. Basically.
Yes.
Wow. If you could partner with anyone right now and ask them for anything, who would that be and why? And what would you ask them for?
Yes. First partner would be a strategic partner, a manufacturer of tractors who would not sell the tractors to us, but would partner with us to find a way of giving tractor services and agriculture machinery services to farmers as a service and not a sales of the machinery, because these people can't buy the machines, but they can afford the services. So the number one partner we're looking for is someone who produces these machines and understands that it has to be used.
Yeah.
So if you are waiting for one farmer who has thousands of acres, you can have 1,000 farmers, thousands of acres.
Yeah.
And technology can help get these services from bigger machines to small farmers at the same price or even higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you could organize the pay-as-you-go model for this company, basically.
Exactly.
Or partner with them on that.
Exactly. Okay. So the other partners are partners that can inject funds for us to scale the technology side of it, so we can have a lot of tractors on the platform, a lot of farmers interacting without downtimes and stuff. Yeah, so we're looking for partners to invest cash into the business to grow it. Yeah.
What are your biggest challenges in rolling out this model?
So the biggest challenge has been the deficit of tractors we found out in the system. So you have some locations in Ghana and other parts of West Africa that has no tractors at all.
Okay.
But immediately they hear of TROTRO Tractor, because our system is built and is ready to use from every part of Ghana. We are running on USSD. Once you have access to our short code, you can easily book and pay. Wow. So my biggest challenge is returning those monies where we don't have jobs.
Okay.
And so the biggest challenge has been the deficit of tractors in these areas. And these are the areas we want to have centers and clusters and create mechanization centers for these farmers.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the biggest challenge. The others are normal business startup problems, innovation and adoption of technology in rural communities by smallholder farmers and people normally with not our type of education, but can read and write and stuff. So you have to find ways of reaching them, which is expensive in terms of marketing and outreach and all that. So yeah, there are a lot of challenges facing, but it's exciting. It's not just, it's not scary.
Yeah. No, I understand. It's, of course, if it was all just going smoothly all the time, where would be the fun in it?
Exactly.
Kamal, you're a serial entrepreneur. Essentially, you started this livestock, cattle tracking business. You have your hands in several things. How do you manage that?
I think for now I can say it's because of the small nature of the businesses. So it's easier to manage. If you look at the environment in Abu Dhabi and that location, it's a fast-paced environment where you do so many things at the same time, even though you are in one organization. And so I kind of built my strength from the fast-paced business environment in the United Arab Emirates and the GCC, in the way they do business. At the very prime time of me, like in my 20s, I was there, and that's when you can do so many things. So that strength and the small nature of these businesses doesn't make it look like it's, for me, different things. It's just different activities I am doing at different times. But of course, as they are growing, you have to delegate. So for example, Farmable, I am not part of the day-to-day administration of Farmable at this moment. They have their own CEO, they have their own chief operations officer, they have tech department and all that, and they are working on their own. I once in a while go in to see what's happening and give my advice. At TROTRO Tractor, we are also growing. We are now 16 people. So most of the job is not done by myself alone. We have my co-founders and the team members playing critical role in moving this up.
I think that's very helpful to know, because I think when people start out, they cannot envision, because now they are founders, maybe from employees to founders, and many people don't know that there can be a stage where you can hire a CEO if he or she is qualified to run certain parts of the organization, or and then one does more strategic things maybe. That's good to know.
I agree.
What would be your advice to a young Ghanaian today?
Start early. If you want to do if you want to, whatever you want to do, start early. Read more. Find people who have done it and take advice from them. Don't make the same mistakes. Yeah, and don't wait until you have money to start business. Have the idea, bring it out. People would, it would attract money. Yeah, so I think that's the advice I would give to young people now. I'm still young, so
good advice.
That's the advice I would give to myself
Yeah.
and other young people in the startup ecosystem. Yeah.
How many smallholder farmers are benefiting from TROTRO Tractor right now?
At the moment, it's about 21,000 farmers with TROTRO Tractor.
Wow.
But that's very small also compared to the number of over 2 million smallholder farmers that are in the country.
Thank you so much for sharing all these insights, learnings, and inspiration. As usual, it's been a pleasure, man.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Thomas. Thank you.